Welcome to another episode of the Two Scotch Funk Worldwide Lounge podcast. Been a while. A couple reasons for that. One is I just haven't had any positive energy. Not that this one's going to be super positive, but I've also had a raging toothache for 2 weeks. It has worn on me, to say the least, but today it got fixed. Root canal. It took long enough that we couldn't do the crown today. I had to schedule that for a separate appointment. So I get to get numbed again. Really looking forward to it. But anyway, I digress. Tonight, we're going to talk about power and who has it, who gets it, what people do with it when they have it, when they discover it, and how they covet it and then don't want to get rid of it because it feels pretty good to some people. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Who's in charge here? How about that? That's what we'll call the episode. Who's in charge here? The inspiration for this is multifaceted. One's political, and I'm going to try my best to leave that out of the conversation because it's so frustrating. But what it did was make me think of something that I learned in the rooms, as we say, and how people will kind of push off what they truly are onto the person that has more power, more standing, more adoration, more love. They will push their own actions onto someone else. They become the monster they accuse you of being. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen personally. My stalker did that to me. Yeah, I had one. She was awful. We'll talk about her in a book someday. I won't use her name because she doesn't deserve that kind of recognition, but she was actually in Alpena again, pitching her book. Imagine having someone copy everything you do to try to beat you at it. She was that perfect one that would project what her actions were and then point at me and say, oh, look what he's doing. I've had other people in my life do the same thing, and it's frustrating. And you know what we normally do, and what our advice is to each other and from our respected elders, people that have been in situations before, is just let it go. Let it go. Take the high road, whatever you want to say. Just, stay cool, stay quiet. Don't stir it up. It'll go away. I'm starting to think that maybe I got some bad advice. And I hate to say that. It would have been really interesting to have this discussion with my dad because he was one that was always for, God, kid, you could go at it, but think of the ramifications, think of the people it might affect around her. Well, the stalker went after my kid, and I had to stay quiet. The cop said if you were doing the same thing to her, you'd be in jail. But that's a woman doing it to you for 7 months. I had to put up with that. 7 months. She went after my little girl. That is where people that have a taste of power, they've never had the respect because they've never really earned it. Or if they had it, it was never earned. How about that? I saw that during COVID too. A bunch of people that had never really decided to be leaders or never were leaders. They may have been bosses. I'm not talking about just downtrodden. I'm talking upper echelon people too, all walks of life. And yeah, there's a difference between a boss and a leader. We'll talk about that sometime. I think that's a topic we really need to explore because the new pandemic is bossing versus leading. But that COVID thing, when the grocery store had an arrow on the ground, this is the direction you have to walk. And there would be people that would be with their mask and their visor, and I get it. They were scared. But after a few months of the same bullshit, I'm not following your arrows. We knew better at that point. But they could not wait to take that opportunity to confront you. However, not face to face. They would do it to your face, point at you through their mask and their visor and their safety glasses. And again, I understand fear. I've been afraid. It's horrible. But I didn't really think I should use it to abuse others. And that's what happened. The bosses took over and the leaders stepped back to say, okay, let's just be cool. Let's keep everybody safe and as calm as we can, and the bosses took over. That's not a good thing. My little sister sent me this quote, and it was unfortunately, incredibly relevant to both of us. But the quote is from someone, and I hope I say the name right, Zara Bass. Zara, and the last name is Bas, Zara Bass. If you have to sacrifice your voice to keep the peace, it's no longer peaceful. You're internalizing the chaos instead. And that hit me pretty hard. Yeah, take the high road. Just be cool. This will all blow over. But the damage that happens, and sometimes it blows over. The stalker had to go away. She minimalized herself pretty effectively. How much of that do you take? How much damage do you allow to happen during the time of you being quiet and letting them have their tantrum when you let the boss take over? Who's in charge here? And it's different now because the weak collect online. They bully. They try to cancel, all that other foolishness. And it's no certain group has the monopoly on being dicks. There's plenty of each. Oh, I don't like this viewpoint. Don't go see the movie. Oh, I don't like this viewpoint. Don't read the book. Don't listen to their music. Don't do that. That live and let live thing is kind of gone. And that's where I am with this whole leadership, who's in charge here. Because I think at a certain point, when you turn the other cheek, what that does is invites more disrespect. It puts the disrespect on you. And I don't know that that's really proper. I hope I get some feedback on this, because this is a big thing. And what started this was, who's in charge here? This tooth was unmanageable. It broke. The crown was 30 years old or whatever. It's unfortunately, it's probably close to that. And it broke the side off, and the tooth was decaying. And I got that determined in May, and the soonest they could get me in was September. Okay, if you think that's fine, Doc, you're the one. You know what's best. It was almost right. It was 2 weeks, a little bit before it started to bother, before my appointment. First week was and then the second week it was awful. And I hit peak frustration. I called my family doc, who also suffers from alcoholism. I said, I need some help. I need some pain relief. This isn't, 3 Tylenol. This is serious business. Well, I don't really do opioids. And I wasn't even asking for a 30-pack. I was like, get me 1 per day until my appointment. 6 total. I'm not going to go out and make money on this stuff. I'm going to keep from losing my job on this stuff. No, I just don't do that. So you know what we suffer from, but you're in charge. You have no idea the pain threshold I can take. I've had a cracked spine, broken back, all those things that hurt and managed. But this was unmanageable because it wouldn't go away. Never stopped. No sleep. Nope, can't help you. Dentist, nope, can't do it. So the tools are available. The things you need to help fix it are available, but they decided for me what was best for me. They're the boss. Now, they're experts. They're doctors. They went to school. They also don't know what kind of pain I'm in. So we have to decide, okay, this person, yeah, I see they don't do many of the other things, but we're not going to let them have this either. So what could you do? I know what used to fix the pain. You go to the bottle shop, go to the liquor store, and grab a 5th of booze. So I did. And I had a scotch, a double, no ice. And oh my God, that hit. It's been so long since I had a thick one like that, 8.5 years, that, yeah, I felt it, but the pain was gone. So now, 2 people that know my condition, know the condition themselves, wouldn't give you the tools because they're in charge. That's not leadership. That's disregard. That's boss. Now, did I deal with some guilt after pouring that thing and drinking it? Yeah, a little bit. Not a lot, because I felt better. Was I smart enough to get rid of the rest of it? Yeah. Did I buy my favorite brand? No. Because it's risky business. And yeah, I get that there's an addiction problem with opioids. I don't have that. I needed 6 nights of sleep. Nope. Sorry, you can't have that. Better now, right? Another thing I've been watching from afar is how people think they deserve leadership positions or how they should be the boss. Well, I've been here a very long time. I've worked for this group for a very long time. I'm loyal. I would never leave, even for a lot more money. What a good person am I? Why aren't I in a leadership position? Do you think that multimillionaires don't recognize leadership? You don't think they recognize leadership ability? It's possible. It's possible they don't recognize it, and they got exactly where they are after 40 or 50 or 60 years of good luck and no bad luck. Could be. Could be that. I'm guessing not. So what's the point of this longer than I thought podcast? They all are. We'll trim it down, but what's the point? I guess I'm reaching out for some knowledge and some opinion. Maybe it doesn't, and I don't need it to be professional opinion. I need it to be just your thoughts, because I value that. That helps me form my next books, podcasts, that type of thing. What are your thoughts? Is it time for leaders to stand up and just say, okay, that's no longer acceptable? The boss mentality of, I know better than you. I'll tell you what you need. You'll do what I say. Or is it time for the leaders to stand up and say, whoa, oh, no, you don't, and push back? Is it time for that? Am I leading the witness with my question? I think I am, but yeah, of course I want validation, but I want your input too. If some validates and some doesn't, that's great. That's what we're supposed to be doing here, is having these good discussions. One of the things that Dad said, I think to my sister and I both when we were little, is you don't do passive-aggressive very well. You are masters of aggressive. Maybe you could back it down a notch. And then when I started sailing with my buddy Matt, he used the same phrase. I'm like, ah. And it was about himself. He wasn't calling me that. He's like, I'm just aggressive. That's when I knew he and I were going to be best buddies for life, because if he and Dad use the same words, we're in pretty good shape. And there's a situation that I'm dealing with very personally, and it's very near and dear to my heart, and it's painful, and it's hurt, and it's there's no need for it. Intentionally inflicting pain on those that love you more than life itself isn't leadership. It's not being in charge. I think it's almost a textbook definition of weakness and pain. There's only one way to fix it. You got to end it on both sides. Then you can lead to the future, right? Leading the witness. Who's in charge here? I'll leave it off with this thought. That's something Dad taught me when I was young, and I agree with it. And it's more, I think, more appropriate now than even back then. And I've said it in my books and some of my talks and all the different places that I've been, but what's wrong with starting off with respecting someone? Why do you have to have a chip on your shoulder saying, you will respect me? If you're forcing me to, I probably already don't. You earn your respect by behaving properly, or by the way you carry yourself or treat others. That's the best way. So if we all started off maybe with this whole mutual respect thing, and yeah, you can say, hey, and I know I've lost a lot of it from people from my actions, and I get it, but I've earned that disrespect. I've earned that loss. Will I ever get it back? Well, it's none of my business. It's not for me to say. It's the people that I look to for that respect. It's up to them to decide. And if I've wronged them, then it's up to them to decide if they want to forgive me and give me another chance. That's how it should be. If we understand that, we understand leadership is how you treat people and make them feel, not telling them what to do and how to feel. Maybe we could be in a better spot. Maybe then we will figure out who's in charge here. Maybe. All right, this one ran long, but that's okay. I haven't talked in a while. I hope you like it. I've been trying to figure out how to talk about it, and this tooth thing really, oddly enough, was inspiring in lots of ways. So there you have it. It is 7:07. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining me again, and I hope you've had a great couple weeks. I hope this one's off to a great start. Thanks, everybody.